What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ASAP Automotive channel. So, to recap a little bit here on our 6.0 project for this LSTJ, last episode, working on this, we got our engine mount brackets tack welded in. Don't judge me on the welds. I was using with the equipment I got. But they're pretty strong. They're stronger than they look. They held my fat butt on them. So we got that done. So now the next step we're going to do is drop the drivetrain in. Now we're not going to set it in permanently like we talked about in the last episode. What we're wanting to do is to make sure our motor mounts are going to be where we want them, make sure we got good clearance all around back here. We think we're going to have to clearance around the firewall a little bit, but one of the other main things is the transmission mount, and we'll show you guys in here a little bit the mount assembly that Novak has come up with, which is really cool. Can fit a bunch of different applications and in configuration. So what we're going to want to do is get this set in and put our angle indicator on here with about 2 to 3 degrees of attitude to where it's angled down a little bit, and we'll figure that out once we get in there and figure out how to set up our transmission mount. So that being said, I'm going to shut up. Let's go ahead and stick this thing in. Okay, so one of the things, and Novak talks about it in their Bible that they give you when you do this, is the dryer here. So as you can tell, you know, with the inline 6, it was no problem being over here, but with having a 90-degree V8 in here, it's going to be pretty tight. There's actually a way you can flip this bracket and redo it, like cut something off of it. They tell you in there, and we'll get back to it in a little bit. And then I think you end up having to clearance the battery tray a little bit. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and take it out of the way. It's not that big of a deal. Yes, we are going to run AC in this thing, but we'll come back to that one. So in the meantime, there's just two 11mm nuts on this bracket here, one up here, one down there. You can just pull this little retaining clip off of here. And so you can go to any auto parts store, Amazon, Harbor Freight, whatever. And you can get these clamp sets, and what they do is they actually go in and get in here and release the retaining ring to go ahead and take this off. And you know, there's obviously nothing in our AC system because it's already been taken apart, so we're going to go ahead and get in there, release that, and pull it out like so, and voila. So as you can see, in around there is a retaining spring, and don't be an idiot. I'm gonna try to use a freaking screwdriver or something stupid like that. But as you can see, this clamp has a lip in there, and that's what goes in, fits in there, and pretty much separates that spring, so you can get it off that lip and pull it off. Most of your, a lot of your AC lines are that way, and some of your fuel lines are that way. And like I said, you can buy these kits anywhere. They're super cheap. There's different styles, so well worth having them to keep them. So on to the next part. Alright, so we got our motor in, got everything situated. We're pretty happy. Woo! I think we nailed it first try on those mounts, so we're looking good. Everything clears good. So now our next big thing we got to do is get back here and set up the transmission mount, because now we've moved this whole shooting match about 2.5 inches forward, somewhere in that ballpark, compared to where the transmission and transfer case was before with the inline 6, because it's not sitting near as far back in the firewall, which is no problem. we got this kit from Novak, and it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of a transmission mount. It's a lot beefier than the original, and it gives you a ton of different options, moving it back and forth, up and down, all that. So our key here is we want to stay around anywhere from 3 to 5 degrees of attitude. What that means is the back, matter of fact, the whole drivetrain is angled down about 3 to 5 degrees. So, and we're pretty good. We're able to accomplish that. We've already set it up. So we're going to go ahead and get this mount bolted up and get our cross member in and start seeing which way. Your application might be totally different than what we end up with. We have no idea which way, if we've got to flip it this way, you know, move these around, if we got to use a spacer for this. So, but we're about to find out. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so it's a little awkward up in here. There's no real way to get the camera in here easy. So, but we wanted to show you guys the particular setup we went with here. If you'll notice the orientation of the bracket, we've got ours facing down. We actually did away, so this Jeep had a lift kit put on it previously, and it had the spacers for the crossmember. Sorry, there, Mustang with straight pipes going by. Surprise, surprise. So anyways, we did away with the spacers on it. We're putting the crossmember back up against the frame. It's gonna make it a little bit stronger anyways. We're at right about 4 degrees of attitude, right in the middle of where we wanted to be. Remember, we wanted about 3 to 5 degrees. So this particular application for ours, it worked perfect to have the bracket facing down. We didn't need any of the spacers spacing it away from the bottom of the transmission. What we went ahead and did is we went ahead and put that bottom puck underneath to give us a good reference for height. We're good there. We went ahead and put our top bushings in with the spacers, and then to be able to mark where we need to drill for our new holes, we went ahead and just put a bunch of white out on the end of the bolt, and just dropped them straight down and kind of rubbed them around to make sure, so we got a good reference mark. Another thing you want to make sure too, so our angle is good, the angle of the dangle, but we need to make sure that we're in line. So you don't want it like cocked off to the left or the right or anything. So take your time. You know, this is one of those things. This is most anything with this project. Take your time, do it right. You know, get in a hurry, you're probably going to screw up. So anyways, we've got it in line. We've already, you know, centered it up, make sure we're good. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and drop this cross member back out and drill our holes for our new bolts, and then start bolting everything back up. So let's get to it. All right guys, so we got the cross member slash belly pan off, and you can see here where we had took the white out at the bottom of our bolts, and just, you know, that's where we got marks, because you're up in there. It's really about the easiest way I could think of to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and get those drilled out here in a minute. You just need a drill bit a little bit bigger than a 7/16, because that's the size bolt that comes in that Novak kit. So now that's if you go with the Novak kit. I highly recommend it. It gives you a ton of different options. Trying to mess with the factory one's gonna suck. So speaking of which, we're also gonna do some other changes. Next thing we're gonna work on is, since you remember guys that we moved our whole drivetrain about 2.5 inches forward. So even if we weren't gonna do a slip yoke eliminator kit, we'd still have to get a new drive shaft. But we're going to take the opportunity, since we're going to rebuild the transfer case anyways, we're going to go and get rid of that crappy setup, because it sucks, and everybody does in these Jeeps. So we're going to do away with that, and we found a company online, Adams Drive Shafts, make some great quality stuff. None of that Chinese garbage, so, or overseas garbage or whatever. It's going to last, and they also sell it in a kit with a Terraflex. We're going to go with the standard length. You can go mega short or extreme or whatever. It helps get a little bit of your angles out, but for this application, we're just going with the standard length. It's going to be perfectly fine. So what we got to do first, we got to get down here and get our measurement. So we're going to show you how to do that.
All right guys, so what you want to do is, since we're doing we're doing the slip yoke eliminator, we need to measure from the front of the case, well technically the back of the case, where this housing, tail shaft housing, bolts to the case itself right here. We need to measure from this flange all the way back here to the front of the yoke here, where the bolt goes in. And you can just take your little straight edge and put across here. That way you can get a good measurement. Ideally, this would be nice if it was horizontal, but we kind of can't really move the Jeep because we got the jack under here and all that fun stuff. So we're just going to make do with what we got. It's going to be close enough. It's really not going to be that major of a difference. We'll measure on the high point here. So let me go and get our measuring tape out. All right. And okay, another quick little note here, guys. Sorry for the nasally. My sinus just sucks, and I'm upside down. You want to measure about in line with the drive shaft on a horizontal axis the best you can. That's going to give you the truest measurement that you're looking for. So I'm on the back side here, you can't see, but I'm about centered. And then I'm going to carry it on down to right over here. And let's see, that gives us, of course, the block's right the freaking way. Okay, so that's right at 25. Yep, we're right at about 25 inches for ours. Okay, cool. That's perfect. That's what we need. So measure from the center axis here to the front face of the yoke here, and we're good. So yeah, we're right at 24 3/4. That's where we're gonna call it at. So remember, measure 3 times, cut once. So now what we'll do is we'll take this measurement, give it to Adams, and we'll order the kit. And in a later video, we'll talk about rebuilding this bad boy and doing the whole slip yoke eliminator kit all at the same time. So
all right, guys, so we're gonna end it off there tonight. So just to recap, we got motor set all down in. We've got our transmission mount figured out. So we're looking pretty good. This is a big hump. This is, of course, most anything in this project you want to take your time, but this most definitely, it's not very easy to go back and redo. So that being said, we're going to end off there, guys. Stay tuned for the next video. Not quite sure which part we're going to tackle next, but we'll let you know. Until then, guys, remember, next time, stock is not an option. I think we got a little wrong. I think we need to we need to just drop it on a motorcycle or like a bike frame. Imagine that kind of power between your legs.
You die.